In life, we all face a variety of people, each with their own unique characteristics. While some individuals are genuinely in need of help, others might not be worthy of our time and energy. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we must be mindful of how we invest our resources, especially when it comes to offering help. Some people, unfortunately, will only take advantage of our kindness, leaving us feeling drained and unappreciated. In this video, we'll explore 8 types of people who may not deserve our help, and how understanding these types can help us protect our inner peace and focus on what truly matters. 1. Manipulators. Have you ever felt drained after helping someone, only to realize they took more than you were willing to give? Manipulators are experts at doing just that. They feed off your kindness, using it to serve their own interests. At first, they might seem charming or needy, but over time, you'll notice that they never give back, only take. They make you feel guilty if you don't help, positioning themselves as victims, while you lose your sense of self-worth. But here's the thing. The more you give to manipulators, the more they demand. They don't want to change, they just want to use you. You might have the best intentions, but they'll twist your actions to their advantage. Have you ever helped someone, only to feel like you ended up worse off? That's manipulation at its finest. Imagine you're at work, and a colleague constantly asks for help, but when the project is completed, they take all the credit. How does that make you feel? Frustrated? Betrayed? That's the power of manipulation at play. It diminishes your own sense of agency and leaves you wondering if your efforts were ever truly appreciated. This isn't just something you experience at work. It happens in friendships too. Have you ever given so much to a friend, only to feel like you've been taken for granted? Manipulative people thrive on this imbalance. They play on your emotions, guilt-tripping you into thinking you're the one at fault when they don't reciprocate your kindness. So, what can we do about it? Stoicism teaches us to guard against these manipulative forces in our lives. We are encouraged to value our own integrity and wisdom over the selfish needs of others. If you keep pouring your energy into someone who never intends to change, what do you get in return? Nothing but exhaustion and disappointment. And it's okay to say no. Sometimes, saying no is the most powerful way to protect your peace and your values. The Stoics believed in acting with wisdom. Don't waste your precious time and energy on people who only seek to exploit it. Your resources, your emotional well-being, they're too valuable to hand over to someone who will use them for their own benefit. At the end of the day, you're in control of who you help. Choose wisely. Don't let manipulative people steal your time or your happiness. Your kindness should go to those who will appreciate it, not those who will use it to take advantage of you. So, what about you? Have you ever been manipulated, and how did you handle it? It's time to take back your power. 2. Chronic critics. Have you ever had someone constantly point out your flaws, no matter how hard you try? Chronic critics are always on the lookout for something to criticize, no matter how small or insignificant. They don't offer solutions or encouragement, they just bring you down. It can be exhausting, right? You put your heart into something, and instead of support, you're met with negativity. It makes you question your worth and your abilities. These people don't criticize to help you grow, they do it to make themselves feel superior. Have you ever tried explaining your efforts to someone like this, only to be met with more criticism and no recognition of your hard work? That's the toxic cycle they create. They want to highlight your mistakes, not to help you improve, but to tear you down. And it's not just in the workplace. Chronic critics can show up in all parts of life, friendships, family, even social circles. They seem to have an eye for spotting imperfections, but never offer a helping hand. It's like trying to swim with weights tied to your feet. How do you stay afloat when someone is constantly pulling you down with their negativity? Stoic philosophy teaches us to protect our inner peace and not let others dictate our self-worth. Chronic critics don't deserve your energy because their goal isn't to help, they're just looking to make you feel small. But here's the thing. You don't need to change who you are just because they can't see your value. Their criticism says more about them than it does about you. Think about this. If someone truly cares about you, they'll point out flaws with kindness, offering advice that helps you grow. Chronic critics, on the other hand, don't care about your improvement. They just want to bring you down to their level. Have you ever tried to please a chronic critic? You might find that no matter what you do, it's never enough. Their negativity is like a black hole that can never be filled. So, what should you do when faced with a chronic critic? First, recognize that their words don't define you. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our responses. You can't control their behavior, but you can control how much power you give their criticism. Let it roll off your back. Don't let their negativity steal your confidence. At the end of the day, you don't owe anyone your energy, especially someone who's only there to tear you down. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who want to see you succeed, not just point out where you went wrong. So, how do you deal with chronic critics in your life? Remember, their words are a reflection of them, not you. Stay true to yourself. 3. Narcissists. Have you ever met someone who seems to believe the world revolves around them? Narcissists are those individuals who constantly seek admiration and validation, but never give it back. They crave attention, but they're not interested in growing or changing. Instead, they want to be praised for simply existing. It's like they've built this impenetrable bubble where their flaws and mistakes don't even exist. But what happens when you try to offer advice or support? It's either ignored or rejected, right? These people don't want to improve, and they certainly don't want your help. They're too busy convincing themselves they're already perfect. Think about it. Have you ever tried to suggest a different approach to a narcissist, only to be met with defensiveness or dismissal? They won't admit they're wrong because, in their mind, they're never wrong. They want you to praise them, not challenge them. Being around a narcissist can be draining. They often dominate conversations, constantly talking about their achievements, while showing little to no interest in anyone else's. It can feel like you're invisible when you're in their presence. But here's the thing. No matter how much you give, how much you help, they'll never truly appreciate it. They don't need help. They just need their ego fed. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and when it comes to narcissists, you can't control their self-obsession or their lack of willingness to change. What you can control is how much energy you invest in them. Giving your time and kindness to a narcissist is like throwing your effort into a black hole. It never comes back to you, and it never leads to anything meaningful. So, why do we keep trying to help people who don't want to help themselves? Perhaps it's because we're wired to want to fix things, to make a difference. But with a narcissist, your help will only fuel their sense of entitlement. The more you give, the more they take, and the less you get in return. Instead of trying to change them, focus on protecting your own energy. Stoic philosophy encourages us to act with wisdom and self-respect. The best way to handle a narcissist is to stop offering them the admiration and validation they seek. Don't allow their inflated ego to take up space in your life. Think about it. Have you ever felt drained after helping someone who only took and never gave back? That's the narcissist's way. They'll never appreciate your efforts, and they'll always want more. So, the next time you encounter a narcissist, ask yourself, is this person worthy of your time? And remember, your value isn't tied to their approval. 4. Opportunists. Have you ever come across someone who seems to show up only when there's something to gain, but disappears as soon as the hard work starts? These are the opportunists. They're always around when success is in the air, but never when it's time to put in the effort. They know how to reap the rewards of others' hard work without ever lifting a finger. Have you ever felt like you've done all the work, only to see someone else take the credit? That's the opportunist's game. Opportunists thrive on exploiting situations. They rarely contribute, but they're experts at taking advantage of others. Whether it's in a group project, at work, or even in personal relationships, they'll find a way to get what they want, often without giving anything in return. And when you help them, you're not aiding their growth. You're simply reinforcing their bad behavior. You're giving them the green light to continue their selfish ways. So why do they act like this? It's because they don't value fairness or reciprocity. They don't believe in contributing. They only believe in getting. They'll take from others without hesitation, never thinking twice about the damage they cause or the effort they drain. And when it's time for them to give back, they're nowhere to be found. Think about it. When you give to an opportunist, are they truly grateful? Or do they simply see you as another stepping stone? Helping them might seem like a kind gesture, but in reality, it just enables their self-serving ways. You might feel like you're doing the right thing, but you're actually feeding their sense of entitlement. The more you help, the more they take. and the less they'll learn to help themselves. Stoicism teaches us that kindness should be given wisely. It's not about giving to everyone, but about knowing when and where your energy will truly make a difference. Helping an opportunist only reinforces their behavior, and as a result, it takes away from your own peace and sense of justice. Instead of continuing to support someone who only takes, it's time to stop enabling them. The next time an opportunist comes your way, ask yourself, am I really helping, or am I just making it easier for them to keep taking? And remember, your time and energy are valuable. Use them wisely, and save them for those who truly appreciate and deserve them. 5. Envious people. Have you ever met someone who can't seem to celebrate others' success, no matter how much they deserve it? Instead of feeling happy for someone who's thriving, they feel resentful or frustrated. These are the envious people. Envy is a toxic emotion. It doesn't just poison the person who feels it. It spreads negativity to everyone around them. What happens when you try to help someone like this? At first glance, it may seem like the right thing to do. You might want to lift them up, make them see the value in their own journey. But in reality, your help won't be appreciated. It will likely be seen as a threat. Your success or kindness might highlight their own insecurities, making them feel worse instead of better. Think about it. Have you ever offered advice or support to someone who seemed to always find fault in others, especially those who were doing well? Instead of acknowledging your help, they see it as an attempt to prove they're not as good as others. It's like pouring water into a cup that has a hole. It's never going to stay. No matter how much you give, it never fills them up. Envy blinds people to their own worth. They're so focused on what others have or achieve that they can't see their own potential. In your attempt to help, they may not even realize that the issue lies within themselves. They might believe that your success is their problem, not their own lack of fulfillment. So, offering help can often backfire. It only strengthens their resentment and doesn't bring them any closer to change. Think of the classic case of someone who's constantly comparing themselves to others, never happy with their own achievements. You might tell them about your own progress or offer advice, but instead of feeling inspired, they become bitter. Your success becomes a reminder of what they don't have. You can't change that. Only they can. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our energy should go to those who are willing to grow and appreciate support, not those who are stuck in the spiral of jealousy and bitterness. When you give to an envious person, you're not helping them. You're only feeding their dissatisfaction. Instead of putting your efforts into them, focus on those who appreciate and make the most of what they receive. So, the next time you encounter envy, ask yourself, am I giving to someone who truly values my help, or am I just contributing to their frustration? Protect your peace. Your kindness is better spent where it can make a positive difference, not where it will just be drained away. 6. Ungrateful and lazy people. Have you ever encountered someone who never seems to make an effort to improve their situation? They're always asking for help, but never giving anything in return. These are the ungrateful and lazy individuals. They expect others to carry them, but they don't seem willing to take any steps to help themselves. It's frustrating, isn't it? You may feel compassionate and want to lend a hand, but the truth is, helping them doesn't encourage growth. It keeps them stuck in a cycle of dependency. The more you give, the more they expect, and the less they are motivated to do anything on their own. It's like feeding someone who refuses to learn how to cook. No matter how many meals you provide, they'll always expect more. Think about it. Have you ever helped someone only to see them become more reliant on you over time? They might take the help you offer, but they don't use it to improve their situation or move forward. Instead, they just keep asking for more. It's exhausting and ultimately unfulfilling. You end up feeling drained, and they continue to make no progress. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true help isn't about giving without boundaries. It's about guiding others to stand on their own. Helping someone who is too lazy or ungrateful to make an effort doesn't uplift them. It encourages them to remain stagnant. It's as if you're giving them a crutch, and instead of walking, they're just leaning on it forever. Have you ever realized that sometimes refusing to help is the most helpful thing you can do? By not enabling their laziness, you're giving them the space to face their own struggles and, hopefully, take responsibility for their own life. We all have limited time and energy, and it's important to choose wisely who deserves our help. Remember, true kindness comes from helping others to grow and become independent, not by giving endlessly to those who choose not to help themselves. So, next time you encounter someone who's ungrateful or lazy, ask yourself, am I really helping them? Or am I just keeping them in the comfort of their own stagnation? Protect your energy and give your help to those who are ready to stand on their own feet. 7. Demotivated individuals. Have you ever tried to help someone who just doesn't seem motivated to change? No matter how much you encourage them or offer guidance, they remain stuck in the same place, unwilling to take action. These are the demotivated individuals, the ones who lack the drive to improve their lives, even when the opportunity is right in front of them. It's tough, isn't it? You might find yourself constantly offering advice, pushing them to take steps toward their goals, only to see them shrug it off. You wonder, what more can I do? But the truth is, helping someone who lacks motivation often leads nowhere. They might appreciate your effort, but unless they truly want to change, nothing will stick. It's like trying to teach someone to swim while they're still afraid of the water. Think about those moments when you've seen someone who talks a lot about what they want to achieve, but never takes any action. They'll tell you their dreams, but when it comes to doing the work, they hold back. It can be frustrating, especially when you know they have the potential to succeed. But no amount of help can change their mindset if they aren't willing to put in the effort themselves. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we cannot control others' actions or force them to change. The most we can do is offer guidance and support, but it's up to the individual to take the first step. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. The same goes for the demotivated person. Without their own desire to grow, your help will often be in vain. So, the next time you encounter someone who seems stuck in a cycle of inaction, ask yourself, are they really ready to change, or am I just spinning my wheels? While it's noble to want to help, sometimes the best thing you can do is step back and allow them to come to the realization that change is in their hands. Remember, your energy is valuable, and it's important to invest it where it can make a difference. Helping those who are motivated to change will lead to more meaningful results, both for you and for them. So choose wisely. Only offer your help to those who are ready to take that first step toward change. 8. Negative individuals. Have you ever been around someone who seems to always find the dark side of things? No matter how much effort you put into staying positive or making progress, they just can't help but see the glass as half empty. These are the negative individuals, the ones who seem to be trapped in a cycle of pessimism, and no matter what you say or do, they only focus on what's wrong. It's exhausting, right? You might feel like you're doing everything you can to lift them up, but instead, they drag you down into their negative mindset. They never appreciate your efforts or see the good in situations. Their constant complaining can make you question your own perspective, leaving you feeling drained and frustrated. It's like trying to light a candle in a storm. You keep pushing positivity, but it feels like the wind is just blowing it out. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we have control over our own minds, but not the minds of others. Helping negative individuals can sometimes feel like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. No matter how much good you offer, it leaks away, and they remain stuck in their pessimism. They don't appreciate your efforts because they're too focused on what's wrong, missing the chance to see things from a different, more optimistic perspective. Think about it. Have you ever tried to celebrate a small victory with someone only to have them point out why it's not enough or why it won't last? That constant drain on your energy is not only unproductive, it also starts to erode your own positivity and outlook. Over time, you might begin to question your own achievements or feel like you're caught in a cycle of negativity. So, what should you do when faced with negative individuals? Stoicism teaches us to protect our peace and energy. While it's kind to offer support, sometimes stepping away is the best way to protect yourself from getting sucked into their negative spiral. You can't change their mindset, but you can choose to distance yourself from the constant drain. In the end, helping someone who refuses to see the good in life won't bring lasting results. Instead of constantly trying to fix them, focus on nurturing your own mindset and investing in relationships where mutual growth and positivity are present. Your time and energy are precious. Spend them on those who are ready to embrace change and look at life through a more balanced lens. 9. The drama seekers. Have you ever encountered people who always seem to find themselves in the middle of chaos, stirring up drama wherever they go. They thrive on attention and conflict, and no matter how much you try to help them find peace, they only seem to create more problems. These are the drama seekers, individuals who are constantly looking for excitement or turmoil, and who draw you into their emotional storms. Helping these individuals is like trying to calm a wildfire with a glass of water. No matter how hard you try, it feels like you're being pulled into their frenzy. They have no interest in resolving their issues, only in keeping the drama alive. They may feed off your emotional energy, draining you while they continue to stir up trouble. Instead of finding solutions or peace, they just want an audience for their chaos. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we should not waste energy on people who refuse to seek peace or clarity. By choosing to detach, you protect your inner calm and avoid getting caught up in their whirlwind. So, the next time you're faced with someone who thrives on drama, ask yourself, is my involvement going to bring resolution, or will it just add fuel to the fire? Sometimes, the most helpful thing you can do is walk away and let them sort out their own mess without dragging you down with them. 10. The victims. Have you ever met someone who constantly plays the victim? No matter the situation, they never seem to take responsibility for their actions and always believe the world is against them. These individuals are the perpetual victims, always blaming external circumstances for their lack of progress. They wait for others to fix their problems, rather than taking control and making an effort to change themselves. While it's natural to feel empathy for those facing challenges, the victim mentality can be incredibly draining. They never seem to learn or grow from their difficulties because they refuse to take ownership of their lives. They keep waiting for a savior, and when you try to help, they see it as a temporary fix, not a solution they need to apply themselves. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we should focus on empowering people to take responsibility for their actions, rather than enabling their helplessness. Helping someone who refuses to take responsibility often leaves you feeling frustrated and unappreciated. Next time you encounter a victim, consider whether your help is genuinely enabling them to take responsibility and move forward, or if you're simply perpetuating their cycle of passivity. True help isn't about doing things for others, but guiding them to take charge of their own lives. As we reflect on these 8 types of people, it's important to remember that helping others is a noble pursuit, but it must be done with wisdom and discernment. Not everyone who asks for help is in a position to truly benefit from it. By learning to recognize the individuals who would drain our energy rather than appreciate it, we can save ourselves from unnecessary frustration and protect our own well-being. Stoicism teaches us that our time, energy, and kindness are valuable, and we must choose wisely who we share them with. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share with others who might benefit from this wisdom. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful discussions on Stoic philosophy and self-improvement. Let's continue to grow together, one lesson at a time.